good.
Learning to ski with Dad and drive like Dad will give young Simon and his family the boost they need to tackle a life with cerebral palsy together.
Do you like it by now? Speak up, I can't hear you. You do? Good, now you stand up. Now we're going to try you on your own. Just a little, see? Okay. You can fly on your own.
Disabled doesn't mean just amputees or people with motor coordination problems. It includes intellectually handicapped, the deaf, polio and thalidomide victims, and importantly, the blind.
I wanted a bit of a challenge, and I thought that it was an opportunity that sort of wasn't to be missed. You know, it'd be a great experience and also fairly challenging, you know, and anything that's a challenge I'll try and take on.
Good.
That's fantastic, doing really well.
Round to the right.
Here comes this terrible corner here.
Yeah.
Well, we're still on our feet. Oh, yippee!
And to the left.
Oh, that's great. Out the speed too fast.
And round to the right.
Right, yes. Come on, Graham, control that right ski.
Let's just slow down a little. And we'll slow to a stop.
Right.
Good.
That was fantastic.
I probably would find this a bit strange inside a lot of people, but I didn't worry. I started off with the attitude, okay, this is a challenge, it's a good opportunity, let's go and see what we can do with it. And I didn't worry at all standing on top of the mountain. You know, I just felt, well, okay, if I bump into anybody, if I have an accident, I can't do anything about it. So let's just forget all the worries and get on with it. It hasn't hurt when I've fallen over. A lot of the falls I have had have been quite good fun.
It started off fairly slowly, and I wasn't sure at all what to expect, but gradually I picked up, and now I'm almost skiing on my own actually, so I've certainly progressed. Well, just the feeling of gliding over the snow, turning and twisting, and just feeling of being free. To start off with, prior to the race, I was a little bit nervous, but once I got going and everything started to flow, I felt really good, and it ended up a success.
I suppose the best way to describe it would be thrilling. Just the feeling of moving and turning and just being able to move so effortlessly along the snow at the speed that you travel. You know, I often compare it to running and say, well, to travel that speed running, I'd be absolutely puffed out. And it's not as much fun. Skiing, you're just so graceful a lot of the time and also so effortless. It does give me a definite feeling of freedom. I don't think it's necessarily guts. I think it's more just having a positive attitude towards it and not to think about problems that you may have. Just say, well, here's an opportunity, let's try as hard as we can to get as much out of it. So no, I don't think it's guts at all. It's just more a positive attitude. I don't think I'd like to take skiing too seriously, like playing, doing it for my country, but I'd rather just keep it as something for fun and as something for my own personal enjoyment. I hope to continue with skiing next year and also later on in life, because it has been one of the best sports that I've tried.
What did you say?
A few nights I've been really exhausted, but once you get in and have a hot shower and sort of have a bit of a rest, and you're ready and raring to go again. It's good exercise too. Builds up your upper body, and it's really good for you. The first time I sort of was up at the top of the slope, and I thought, oh, I'll never get down here. But once you get into it and you get a bit of practice up your sleeve, and you gradually get better. And then it's, the more practice you give it, the better you get, and it's a lot of fun. It's a bit scary, but you know that Laurie's there. If I get into big trouble, he can sort of help me out. But that's a matter of practice too. Once you get practice, you get more confident, and you know there's not as much sort of panic, and you feel more confident, and you go a lot better. It's important for me to eventually get up by myself and have a bit of independence, so I don't have to rely on somebody to be there all the time with me. If I want to go for a run somewhere by myself, I can, once I get better at it. I think you feel exhilarated that you've gone out and you've had your go and you've really had a good time, and you make a few people jealous. Tell them how good you went and what fun you had. Make them wish that they'd gone too. You just have so much fun. It gives you a bit of freedom, a lot of independence. You know, you get in and you're participating in a sport, you know, that everybody else goes into as well. And there's no reason why you can't get out and give it a go too.
It gives you confidence in other things too, and you feel that you're doing something, and you come here and it's...
Yeah, you're doing something, which you can get to a level.
And you can leave the city feeling really, after work, feeling down. You think, how am I going to come back to work feeling refreshed after driving all the way down to snow skiing weekend, coming back, and you think you'll be physically so tired, but you come back feeling refreshed during the day.
You might be getting there, but I'm not.
Where should we start skiing today, Anna?
I've heard Meadows is really good today. Should we give that a turn?
You wouldn't want to be anywhere else, would you? Just lovely.
Absolutely amazing. I still feel like, you know, I'm going to go home and it won't have been real.
No.
It's just, like you were saying, it's just so far removed.
Yes, yeah, you just come up here and you can't believe that the rest of the world isn't like this. And everybody seems to be in a different frame of mind when they're up here, and it's just so nice. And the feeling of just, even if you're not going fast, of just going somewhere without a lot of effort and pushing around, it's just so different from what you're normally doing, and you know, you just wish everybody can have that experience, I think.
This is my first sport I've done.
Yeah, me too. And I wish I'd done it so much earlier, because I think it really would have made a difference. It sounds a bit corny, but it has made a difference to me.
I just think it's really exciting to be out here with everybody, and that's what it's all about. When I became disabled, I just felt that I would never come to the snow again. It was all inaccessible. I couldn't even stay here because the chalets were inaccessible. And it just was amazing that I could ski. Really exciting. You use outriggers to balance and to help with your turns. And with this ski, I think you lean to turn as well. I'm very new at it. You have speed, and that's the most exciting thing. You can ski faster than you can wheel in your wheelchair. And it's really exciting to feel the wind in your face and be in the snow. We always need to ski with a guide. You need a little bit of assistance, and you're very thankful to have people who are able to help. And in Victoria, we're going to need more people to help, but we're getting more as each year comes.
Everything sort of aches and you can't get it to do what you want it to do, because you're so tiny and you've got to think of so much at once, like which foot to put weight on, which outrigger to put weight on, which way to turn your body, and it's just so physically and mentally straining all at the same time. Oh, everyone's able to overtake it. You've just got to say to yourself, no, look, I can get through this, I can do it. It's just a part of learning. Everyone goes through that. So I was really dubious when I first got out there on the slopes. So I thought, oh, I don't know when I'll be able to do this, but once I got the hang of it, I was fine. I was surprised that I caught on safely. Previously, I haven't done anything at all much in the way of sports, just going to the beach, bit of surf skiing, that's about it, sunbaking. Until skiing, I didn't really consider I could do anything. So it's a big surprise to me, being able to get out there and do it like everyone else. I haven't had any really bad falls, and they're not, like, you're always terrified of falling, but once you've done a couple, it's just, you just get back up again. It doesn't do anything usually, unless you bang into a fence or a pole or a tree or something. I haven't had anything major like that, so it's been all right. I'm not a sporting person, so I may as well get out there and have a go. If I can't do it, well, that's fine, you know. Just, it's one of the things, you can't do it, you can't. but I thought, may as well see if I can do it. I might enjoy it and get something to, you know, it's something, a hobby, because a lot of disabled people have hobbies because they can't, or those sort of sporting hobbies, because they find it difficult to do those sorts of things. So now I've got something that I know I can do. I don't think I've got a lot of guts, but I've got determination and to get out and have a try at things.
I'd love to represent a country in any sport, but there's only a few guys around there which I've heard of that are really competitive in this sport. So I'd like to give them a run for their money. I'd really get stuck into it and try hard, but it's a financial problem. Well, skiing is just a new experience for me. I like new experiences. I try to get out and try different things if I can. And skiing, it's just, once again, out of the wheelchair, it's something different. You have to push yourself around. It's still a lot of arm work involved, but it's a different style of
Okay, we'll try and
locomotion,
make it turn down towards
getting
this way.
around.
A bit bumpy, so it's up, down and hit those bumps. Get those shots nice and square
I
on
love the
those
speed, yeah.
right-hand
It's
turns.
exhilarating. It's just a buzz to, you know, you're in control, except it's a bit hairy when you hit the ice. But, yeah, it's just the exhilaration of the speed and the control when you don't hit the ice. Yeah, it's good. Anyone can do it as long as they can enjoy a bit of speed and just go at it, just attack it. Don't hold back. Yeah, I know a lot of people which I reckon would be interested in it if I could just get them down here. It's because when you're in a wheelchair, as I said earlier, you just try and get out of it and do different things here. I know a lot of people which could get into it, but once again, you just got to make that initial contact. And when I'm back, I'll be spreading word for sure.